Assalamu alaikum viewer. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to teach you psychology, the definitions of psychology. So let's start. Okay. Definitions of psychology. Definitions of psychology. The word psychology is derived from the two two words. What are those words? Okay, let me teach you. Those words, psyche and soul. So the psyche and logos. Logos. And these two are the Greek words which mean the psyche means soul and logos means study. So psychology is the study of soul. The study of soul is called psychology. This was the past definition, and it was presented at the time when psychology was a branch of philosophy. And that time the people used to say that the psychology is the study of soul because the soul is considered that there is something in our body which control us, and that thing was referred as soul. But later on, the psychology is claimed to be the science, and science is the way of knowing based on the systematic, critical, and empirical investigations. So the ultimate aim of the science is to have better understanding of the world. Science directs us to find this understanding by observing and measuring what actually happens. What actually happens. And if we talk about the souls, we cannot measure that what is happening with the soul, what is soul. So this definition was rejected because it was unscientific definition. Later on, another definition emerged, and it was said that psychology is the study of mind. The study of mind. The study of mind. Okay. And this definition was presented by Hume and Titchener. Two psychologists, Hume and Titchener, define psychology as the study of mental processes. By mental processes, we mean knowing, thinking, and feeling. Knowing, thinking, and feeling. I mean that what is going um, inside our body, and how do we know the things, how do we think, and how do we feel the things. And we cannot study our own mental process and none of others. Why? In this definition, the study of mind is not acceptable because we cannot even study our own mental processes, um, like only we can feel the things, and we cannot have the words that we can actually express ourselves to others. So if we cannot even study even 100% feel ourselves, then how can we study the others? How can we study the others? This definition is incomplete. So this definition is incomplete. Why? Because the mental processes are private and continuously changing. So, to study these processes, we should have to study what they do and what they do as their behavior. For example, we are studying about the human beings, and we cannot go inside the body, and even we cannot um, see if we, for example, uh, connect the brain with the MRI machine or the CT scan or something that would, so it cannot give us a clear picture. It doesn't give us a clear picture. Uh, that is what is the subjective feeling of that person until that person tell us about those things. And what a person is true, we can see that. We can see that what a person is doing. So the person doing things of a behavior. So that's the reason we say that psychology is the study of behavior. But behavior is a broad term. And later on in this class, I will teach you about the psychology of the study of behavior. But let's come that some people call it the psychology of the study of consciousness. And what is that? Okay, let's go. Psychology as the study of consciousness. So psychology is the study of consciousness. Psychology has been defined as the science of consciousness by William James and John Dewey. By William James and John Dewey. They define the science of consciousness. Psychology is the science of consciousness, and conscious means the present awareness and the present awareness. But I hope you have studied about a Sigmund Freud, the father of psychology. He says that psychology, that the human, he gave the human mind is the example of an iceberg, and he says that the human mind is composed of the three large part, and the most largest of these three as the unconscious, and then as the subconscious, and the very tiny font and a very small and minor font is the consciousness. So, according to the Sigmund Freud and other psychologists, the field experts, unconscious and subconscious are the very much important parts of our mind. So how can we ignore these two parts? And that's how this definition is also incomplete. Incomplete. Okay. Um, Another objection about this definition as that we can study only our own conscious process, but we are unable to study the conscious experiences of others. So we will have to consider their behavior. Their behavior. So this also gave rise to another definition, and that is the study of behavior. That is the study of behavior. Okay, let's go further. That is the three parts: conscious, subconscious. I already talked about these things. Okay, let's study study of behavior. This is what I'm going to teach you. Psychology is the study of behavior. Psychology is the study of behavior. Who who says that psychology is the study of behavior? William McDougall, the first person to define psychology as the study, a scientific study of human behavior. Human behavior. Let's go back. Go back. Okay. Now let's go back. Okay, that's good. Okay, human behavior. This is the latest definition of psychology. By the behavior, we mean all the observable action of others. All the observable action of others. To explain the term behavioral psychologists have given the formula SOR. S means the stimulus, O for the organism, and R for the response. So an organism will respond to a stimulus. Response to a stimulus, and stimulus mean the minimum energy, that can stimulate our sense organ, and that can initiate that can initiate a sensation. That is the stimulus. And what is the response? Mean the reaction showed by the organism to the stimulus. And stimulus, also another definition of the stimulus, is any change in the environment, any change in the environment. So, according to this formula, a stimulus is presented to an organism which evokes some response or reaction, so some behavior takes place. The term behavior is very broad. That this is what I was talking in the first segment of this class, of this presentation. That behavior is very broad and it includes what we think as well as what we do. What we do. It includes our feeling as well as our thoughts. It includes our mental responses as well as the physical one. It includes the normal reaction in which we all engage. It also includes our unusual or abnormal behavior. By behavior, we mean those activities of an organism that can be observed by other person or by an experimenter's instrument. A child eat breakfast, ride a bicycle, talk, blushes, laugh, and cries. All these are the verb describe some of the behavior. However, human behavior is not the only interest of psychology. Only interest of psychology. This is a very good point. Um, we psychologists are entrusted to study the behavior of other animals, like that of chimpanzees, and chimpanzee, birds like pigeon, and other animal like rats. You might have studied the famous experiment done by the uh, different psychologists on the rats and on the pigeons and even on the dogs. So we study the behavior of these animals, and then we apply these finding to the human beings so that we could help the humans and we could predict the different behavior and to explain the different behavior. So it's a very broad term, and inshallah, I will discuss this in the upcoming lectures. Okay, let's go further. What is the best definition? If these are not the definition, the best definition, then what is the best definition? What is the best definition? So, according many people have defined psychology. I will go I will explain some of them. But up till now, I have studied the best definition. I collect those definition, and that's segment. Okay, so psychology is the science that systematically studies and attempt to explain observable behavior, and it is the relationship to the unseen mental process that go on inside an organism and to the external events in which of that organism are. That has APA definition, APA American Psychological definition. If you people learn this definition, this would be the very good. If I prepare this one, at least I prepare. Psychology is the scientific study of behavior and experience and the application of that knowledge to the human problem. Psychology is just study of behavior, okay? And what the people do, what the people think, what the people observe, and all the subjective and objective feeling of the person come in the broad spectrum of behaviors and experiences and the application of this knowledge to the human problem so that we could ease the problems we could solve, we could help the human beings, we could help the human being. Other definitions are by the different, okay. We will do another class on this. So thanks. uh, I'm going to record this class in the Pashto language as well. So if you people are interested in Pashto language, you can listen this class in Pashto as well for my mm, other viewers who are Pashto speakers. I will record this in the next class. Okay, so up till that, goodbye, take care of yourself, wassalam, fi amanullah, thank you, bye bye.